So Don, why don't you tell us about our online live product that we have at New Horizons Computer Learning Center and how it may differ from any previous product that is out there on the market?
Well, I'll tell you, the big difference for us here is how much effort we put into recreating the actual classroom experience, right? The one thing you hear, the first thing you hear really when people start to talk about online training is they say, you know, I tried it and I just prefer coming into a class better. You know, you don't get that same experience as when you're in an actual class. And so we sat down and we put a lot, I mean months and months of effort into recreating as best as possible the actual classroom experience online. And I think that not only have we met every criteria of what we would normally have in a traditional instructor-led class, we've exceeded it, that we've actually gone further in some areas so that we get the equivalent experience online. And boy, the benefits for that just go through the roof, right?
Why don't you tell us about the technology? How does the Adobe Connect product with the Pod plugin, how does that differentiate itself from an audio only like a WebEx or Elluminate?
Sure. Well, we've actually got a couple of different technologies pieced together here. That we've got the Adobe Connect technology combined with the Talking Stick technology that gives us full streaming video of our instructor and our students in combination with the class. And when we compare it to other technologies like Elluminate, technologies like that, WebEx and so forth, it's really almost not even a good comparison. That first off, the Adobe Connect product is entirely Flash-based, and Flash has an install base that's insane. Most computers in the world, whether they're Mac, Linux, PC, they've got Adobe Flash installed on them.
98%.
So 98%. So already machines are set up for our class. And do you know what additional software you need after that? Nothing. That's it. If you have Flash, you're ready to go with it with Adobe Connect. So right off the bat, the barrier for entry is very minimal. No software to download.
I've got to ask one question real quick. What about the iPad?
The iPad, they have an Adobe Connect add-in.
An Adobe Connect application that will allow you to log into a class remotely. If you have an Adobe Connect and the application for the iPad, you can log into a class and you see the screenshot. You don't get the full motion video, but you get the slides, you get the comments, and you can actually take a class on an iPhone or an iPod. And there's nobody else that can do that.
Yeah, not yet at least. And so the technology, it's amazing how rapidly it's changing. But yeah, when you bring up that iPad and you've got the slides displayed right there and you hear the instructor's audio, I mean, that's really cool. You know?
You can chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely a neat environment. If somebody logs in, they fire up their web browser, they log in, you know, we send them a login, we let them know when the meeting is, they connect up, they're immediately brought into our immersive online classroom, all right? From there, we've got it broken up into various components to recreate the class experience. So they've got one screen that's showing my video. They see, or whoever the instructor is, right? Maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else. It can be really, you know, any of our various very talented instructors. And they'll see the instructor. They can see them. They can hear them. It's full streaming video. And products like WebEx and Elluminate and so forth, they've got video. Extremely low quality video. It's very blocky and fuzzy, and I mean, it's really just not.
It's like a webcam video that might be 1 or 2, maybe 3 frames per second.
Yeah, I mean, it's really poor. And they do that because they're trying to keep that bandwidth really low, and their focus is more on the audio. Well, we've got good, high quality audio, and we're able to push good quality video because we're doing Flash. We're using the same technology that YouTube and Ustream and companies like that are using to stream HD video across the internet. We're using that same technology for our instructor video. And so you see a crisp, clear instructor picture. And what's even better is if you have a webcam attached to your computer, I can bring that up too, right? I can bring up your student, if you give me permission, of course, right? I can't just grab that video. But we can bring yours up, and you and I can have a conversation right there, just like in class. So you can chat if you want to, but you're not stuck using a keyboard to chat like you are in WebEx. In WebEx, if you got a microphone, you can at least get on and do that, and we can do the microphone too. But we can go full video. We can go a step further. You know, even people with a low amount of bandwidth can still connect, but to get the full experience, to get the full streaming video, good, clear audio, we do recommend that students have, you know, at least 600 to 650K worth of bandwidth. Now, to put that in perspective, even your discount DSL lines are usually 1.5 megabit. That's over twice what we actually use. So most people with DSL, cable, you know, any kind of broadband connection, if you're on some kind of Metro Ethernet or whatever, you're going to be more than well taken care of. If you're on dial-up or ISDN, well, you can still connect, but you're definitely going to have a degraded experience. But what we find normally is that students that come here and take the class sitting here in front of me, when they see our online experience and they compare that to what they had in the past, it's a world of difference. And I've had many, many students who, when we take our lunch break, halfway through, they say, hey, I got an hour lunch break. If I go home, can I do the rest of the day online? Like, it's that much of a difference that they're willing to drive home at lunch. Once you see our online experience, it is different. It's not like the other experiences. Let me tell you about our online labs, right? One of the things that we have is when a student comes here for a live instructor-led class, we have computers right in front of them that are running Windows Server 2008 or Windows 7 or Crystal Reports or whatever application or server software it is that we're teaching, Microsoft Exchange, whatever, right? And they get hands-on experience with that equipment. Well, what if you're at home? What if you're learning from home or at your office or whatever? You may or may not have that kind of equipment. We assume you don't, right? Because you're learning about it. So what we do is we provide access to online labs. We have a data center in Oklahoma which you're able to remote into to pull up actual servers that are up and running the software that you're learning. You work through labs, and the best part is, as an instructor, I can see your machines. So when you have a problem, you say, hey, Don, I need some help. I can't get this to work. I'm trying to set up a database availability group in Exchange 2010, and it's not replicating. What's going on, right? I pull up your machines, I can look at it, I can help you troubleshoot the problem. You see it, I see it, we walk through it. And if it's a really good problem, you know what I do? I bring it up in front of the whole class and I say, look, this is a great example of a type of problem you might have in real life. Here's how you fix it. I can show people, I can work through it, and it's great. And the best part about that, it's all run on remote servers. So you can have a workstation at home that's not a good machine, right? A very low-end machine, but you're accessing servers that have, 8 gigs of memory, 4 gigs of memory, whatever it is that we need, large amounts of hard drive space and all that, and it's not burdening your hardware at all. It really opens things up. And I tell you, the online labs, they're really impressive. A lot of project managers are developing what are called virtual teams, where the people that are a part of your project are not in the same office as you, and you're having to support them online remotely. Well, when I deliver a class on project management in an online classroom like this, what are we doing? We're collaborating online, exactly like you would manage a virtual team. So even though we're already learning skills about a project manager, or what we'd need as a project manager, we're going a step further and seeing what it would actually be like, as we interact just with our class. And those are real skills you can take back and really benefit from.